been a lot of things. There's been a lot of little twists and turns and ups and downs, and the worst one is actually something quite shocking, and it wasn't something that was ever printed, but a situation that I found myself in. It's so weird, this story, so I don't even know where to start or end with it, and it's probably not going to come out making any sense because I haven't spoken about this. So I, at my apartment building where I live, Flowers was trying to come to my apartment and the security said, no, you can leave them here, that's it. They return again with the flowers. The flowers now have a letter written, which I have and will always keep, from a journalist. They clearly say, this is who I am, and there's a card in there, and I'm from this major newspaper. And we've tried to contact you to speak to you, and with no luck. And if you don't speak to us, we have it on good authority that you're HIV positive when we're running the headline. I just couldn't even work out. I had to read this letter so many times. I'm on my own in my apartment just thinking, is this a joke? But it had the card in there from the journalist and the paper, and I was just so scared and so confused about what to do. When you're a celebrity, you're in the public eye, there's no manual for what to do in that situation. Look up page 84, what do I do when? And so I called management and I spoke to my family, and I'm just like, what do you do in this situation? And this was all pre-blogs and Twitters and stuff where you could be right on it and have someone would be kind of not even out to get me, but on my case about something like this. I had been working for an AIDS charity, Terence Higgins Trust. Not many people want to be involved in a charity like that because they want to be involved with the cuddly nice charities, and this is kind of heavy real life stuff. So I'm reading the letter thinking, is it because of that someone sent me this letter? And I don't even know how I got it. I actually thought there's only one way to stop this. And it was just the weirdest thing. Drove down to my doctor's office, sat there, put my arm out immediately. And all I could do was have this piece of paper slapped on their desk to say, no, I'm not HIV positive. There is no story. And it quickly and quietly went away, which I didn't want to have to go through that. How many times does anyone have to give blood to prove some accusation? It was just weird, and I'm shaking. I would do that. And I'm proud of the work that I've done with the Terence Higgins Trust. I love the people that I work with there. I love the things that we've managed to achieve, and I will continue working with them, even if it means being in the firing line. But I have that journey. In the end, it was, I guess it did lift me up, but the reason I didn't wasn't to stick two fingers up at Julian at all. Between the two, to try and see him. The point that we divorced, I was 150 grand in debt. I had worked my whole entire life. I'd earned a lot of money over a long period of time. To be that in debt where you cannot pay your rent, on top of the devastation of this marriage didn't work out, and I really thought it was going to. I love this person. Now it's felt like this big, dark secret of why I did Playboy, and everybody wagged the finger and what a stupid thing to do, because I never ever wanted to admit the trouble that I was in, and I never wanted anyone to think badly of Julian. Kind of nice now to say, okay, it did look like the most stupid thing to do, but I had no other choice, and I would never ever ask my family for money. So I remember having the contract there and my parents there, and like Johnny Young, my parents did not want me to do this. My dad's standing there going, when you do this, that's forever. You can never ever change that. And I said, Dad, I don't have any other choice. So it actually was fun, and I did feel liberated by it, and at the end it probably kind of dug me out of a hole, not just financially, but I did get a bit of self-esteem back. I just thought, how could I be so stupid in every respect? How could I have not seen this coming with the marriage not working out? Everyone else could see it. How could I let everything turn into this when I should know better? You know, I worked really hard all my life. No, I don't. I don't, but I feel more relieved now that people know why I did it. And I actually looked at the pictures and I thought, damn, I look all right. The biggest selling Playboy they'd ever had.
Apparently it's sold out.
And the biggest compliment was girlfriends of mine had gone out to buy it because they know me. They'd gone out to purchase to see what it was all about. They realised they're very tasteful shots and called me up and said, you know what, you look beautiful. And then it felt like a celebration of me, only at that point. He was a wild guy, you know, he liked having fun and being a bit crazy and goofy and having a laugh, and, you know, we enjoyed each other's friends, and for me, I thought that's all you want out of a relationship at that stage. They're good, aren't they? My parents phoned me, and all I could think of was just, I need to be with them now. And of course, it's at least a 26-hour flight away. So just dealing with the shock, packing a bag. It was the longest flight as you could have. To refuel at Hong Kong, getting off at Hong Kong, going to the lounge, and then somebody at the lounge says, there's a film crew here, they're trying to get an interview with you. And they could see I was in such shock. And I said, can you please just get me to the plane without having to speak to them, because I haven't spoken to my sister yet, spoken to my parents. She's in shock. I can't speak to anyone before I speak to her. That's insane. So we got on, you know, those buggies that go through the airport with the big film crew chasing me, and then arrived in Melbourne. There's, I don't know, 3 rows deep the whole way, trying to find out what's going on. There's what we call a neighbour. That freaked me out more than anything. And all I wanted to do was go inside the door of the family home and see my gorgeous sister and hug her. And it was just like trying to get through all of these barriers. And it took a little while to understand. All of that was there because everybody loves Kylie and they just wanted to know, is she okay? But as a family member trying to be a sister, a brother, a mother, a father, it made everything more difficult. Cut forward to 3 days later in trying to get to the hospital, and Kylie's going to be operated on, and our fears and thoughts and everything. There's another satellite dish outside the hospital. Not only was it obstructing us, but other patients, nurses and doctors with other... It made me angry. Yes, it's going on. Yes, you want to know what's going on, but please let her get on with it so she can get better, and let other people in the hospital... I just didn't think that was fair on them. I even remember it was just a blur, but it was more about just giving her a hug and supporting her. I mean, she was scared. And being there for my parents too, because at the time I just thought, however scary this is for all of us, I think it's got to be the hardest for the parents. It's got to be. I think anybody who's been through cancer, or know anyone who has been through cancer, in those 3 days, there is so much medical information to absorb, and it's always your decision what treatment you take. And you've got to absorb all of that information first. So we had all of that going on, as well as trying to keep it. What's the best treatment? Who would be doing it? How it would happen? All of that. They're 3 very, very tough days. We're just waiting at the hospital to see if she came out okay, and then you knew it was on to the next step. It's a big process having cancer, from one thing to the next, and it's not as easy as just one operation and it's done. So at that point, you just go into a mode where you get through this minute, and she's just the most brave little thing. It's extraordinary. Depth, I would call it, rather than closeness. A depth of... you find strength within yourself that you never thought you had, because you never needed it before. Never thought of it. Couldn't. You don't. Can't. There yet. It looks incredible, and, you know, she's just been so strong, and in my head, nothing's going to come back, because it's just not going to happen. Yeah, my best mate, who's the same age as me, got cancer, and as my friend described before, it was just all around me. And dealing with my sadness and my shock for her, at the same time, people I didn't know would stop me in the street and just grab me and go, "Isn't it wonderful, gone?" And I couldn't even breathe. What am I going to say to these people? It's not all gone, it's here again, and now my friend's got it. And I couldn't speak, I couldn't do anything. And that's at the point where I had a lot of Botox. I remember going in to see this woman and saying, just do something so that I don't have to see the hurt on my face. It's bad enough dealing with it, but just do something. And that was my one thing that I needed to get up every day and get on with the day, because it was tough.
And
it's still something that I'm dealing with. And you have good days and you have bad days. But her situation was a lot different to Kylie's. And yeah, she went into hospital and she was there for 3 months. And I went in almost every day, and then she didn't come out. It's devastating. Some people win the battle, others don't, and you just throw your hands up in towards the sky and just go, why? And I guess the biggest thing is trying to learn that in life, you sometimes just have to accept things. And some days I can, and some days I still don't. I just say, I don't get it, and I'm angry and upset. I just don't get it.